Everybody sing along on the Becky Express. As we're on the road to WrestleMania and we're all together on the Becky Express. Are you even more excited now? Were you even excited at all for Becky and Ronda at Mania after Monday Night Raw's colossal failure? When SmackDown went off the air last night, are you any more excited to see Ronda and Becky? Eye of the beholder, I guess. SmackDown started off with Charlotte Flair in the middle of the ring, talking a bunch of smack to Becky Lynch, calling her Bex, belittling her. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here's suspended Becky Lynch. It's clear where they're going with this. Not only are they going to try to get the sympathy, they're going all out. I told you in yesterday's video, this is beyond forced. This is what I meant. They're putting everything behind Becky Lynch, and this is the worst thing possible. I know. Hear me out. You're thinking, BC, the company's putting everything behind them. Isn't that the great thing? No, the company doesn't know what the fuck to do with somebody like Becky Lynch. The best thing for Becky Lynch is when she was just being organic and doing her own thing. When she was flying under the radar, that was the best Becky Lynch. When she was getting over organically, and booking was just like, sure, do that. We don't care. We got our minds elsewhere. No, now the focus is fully on Becky Lynch. And when the company puts their full focus on somebody, well, shit, they're dead in the water. So here they go. They put the whole arsenal into Becky Lynch, and they're pulling out all the stops. They got the sympathy angle. She's limping. She's injured. She's gotta somehow will it together for WrestleMania. She can do this. Sure, she's the underdog now because she's on one leg, but she can do it. And while she's trying to get the sympathy and pull that card, they also have her now as the lead anti-authority figure. You always gotta have the anti-authority figure because crowds love when somebody takes on the authority. Which is it? Is she pulling the sympathy card, or is she the anti-authority? Is she the man, or is she not? I don't know where they don't know what this character is anymore. She is tarnished. What the fuck are they doing with her? Becky Lynch comes limping down. Charlotte Flair is legitimately over the top in this one, but it's whatever one of us is thinking, so it actually was comical. She's making fun of Becky Lynch so it's supposed to be a badass entrance through the crowd, and Charlotte's like, first you stole my father's The Man gimmick, title, slogan, and now you're stealing Roman Reigns' entrance, she says. Then she tries to get over the barricade all gingerly because she's got one leg, and Charlotte continues to make fun of her. Can you get over there, Bex? Come on, one leg at a time, Bex. Becky Lynch gets in the ring. She goes to say something to Charlotte. Charlotte totally drowns her out. Charlotte Flair is much more vocal as far as volume level, so she drowned out the man, Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair then starts limping around the ring, making fun of Becky Lynch, to which Becky Lynch just gives up on the mic because she was being drowned out anyway, and she just starts smiling at Charlotte. Like, all right, you got me. How is that? What the fuck? That's the man? That is the weakling, Becky Lynch. That is the meek. The meek Becky Lynch. But according to the Lord, the meek inherit earth. So as long as she gets a reaction, BC, we'll stick with it. I'm looking at this and going, wow, this is already tragic for Becky Lynch. Why would you put her in there again with Charlotte? What part of this is WWE not understanding? Somebody has to get these videos to Vince and Kennedy's cronies because I assure you this is going to help everybody involved. Listen closely. Becky Lynch should not be anywhere near Charlotte Flair when there's a camera on them because Becky Lynch looks like Charlotte's bitch. way it is. And it happened again last night. Triple H comes down to the ring. Looks at Charlotte, says, Charlotte, this doesn't concern you. Go to the back. Gets in Becky Lynch's face and says, it's pretty simple to me. See the doc? If you're cleared, you're good to go. If you don't see the doc, you're suspended still. Goes to turn away. Becky Lynch is like, how's Steph? Triple H is like, huh? She's like, how's Steph? Is Steph medically cleared? Triple H gets in the ring. He's like, all right, I see what you are. You're a martyr now. You're just so in it to self-destruct and destruct anything around you because you know fear is what consumes you, and it's what you know. You know deep down you can't beat somebody like Ronda, so that fear is making you act out in these type of ways where I believe you're faking this injury. Yeah, see, I think you don't want to see the doc because you are afraid of what he's going to say. And he's going to say, you're cleared. You're good. And you know you can't beat Ronda. So I'm like, all right, Triple H is good. He's on his marks. It adds a little bit, man. And I'm talking a very, very small nugget of suspense. Is Becky Lynch now scared of Ronda Rousey? Normally, that's great. Somebody like Triple H spewing this? Usually, that's great. The problem is, this is the man, Becky Lynch. That iconic bloodied image when she invaded Raw before Survivor Series. That moment where she confronted John Cena and said, I don't care who gets in my way, but I'll take you out too. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Man, woman, machine, doesn't matter. And now, the suspense that we're getting from Ronda and Becky is Becky scared? And if she's not scared, then she's just playing injured for 2 months. While slapping the taste out of the authority's mouth. Haven't seen that one a million times, and people will compare this to Stone Cold and Vince McMahon again. Last night, Becky Lynch smacks Triple H across the face. Or did she? Was it the slap heard around the world, or did nobody even hear it? Becky Lynch takes all this shit from Triple H and yet again has no response. Just like Charlotte Flair belittles her and she has no response. Just like Ronda Rousey belittled her on Raw and she had no response. Just like Triple H belittled her again, talked a bunch of smack, and she has no response. Now, like I said in yesterday's video, sometimes actions are much louder than words. But you needed to say something to H to captivate us. Instead, it was a lackluster slap. And I'm not talking vicious, like when Charlotte Flair slaps you. Or ferocious, when Stephanie McMahon smacks somebody. I'm talking very lightly. Very lightly to the point where maybe the side of her palm grazed Triple H's face. Maybe, if she was lucky. This was weak as fuck. And it goes with the theme of Becky Lynch lately. Everything she's been doing has been weak as fuck. The punches she threw in to Stephanie McMahon on Monday night. What was that? Honestly, what were those punches? That is something that Bayley and Alexa's kendo stick match from Extreme Rules a couple of years ago, that was more vicious than those punches. And anyone who knows this channel knows that Bayley and Alexa Bliss match was anything but vicious. The kendo stick shots. I have seen slaps in this business more ferocious than any of those kendo stick shots. But Becky Lynch lately, she's not laying into anything. I'm not saying go Nia Jax on somebody, But what the fuck? Separate yourself from a bunch. Throw some bows. But the real odd part here is she throws the slap. Triple H is just looking at her. And for the next minute, it is pure awkwardness. I don't know if they're staring at each other in hatred or if they're about to make out like a couple of horny teenagers behind the high school in the parking lot. In little Timmy's new Corvette. And Sally's getting all hot and horny over this Corvette. And they're just about to fucking make out ferociously for the next 27 minutes. Until little Timmy's phone rings and it's his Goomba, his side chick. And chick one finds out, and chick one now delivers a grazing slap to Timmy. Sorry, going off in left field. I like to tell little stories here and there. I don't know what that was. Are they pissed? Are they gonna kiss? I don't fucking know. But what I do know is she then takes a step back, smiles, that old Finn Balor grin that Becky always has, and then she limps off into the sunset. She hobbles away. She did her damage. No word was spoken. A grazing slap, if at best. And that was the Becky Lynch segment. So I ask you honestly, be real with yourself. When SmackDown went off the air, hour and 45 minutes later, hour 50 minutes later, did you even remember Becky Lynch was on the show? Did she do anything memorable on that show that today you're gonna go, wow, that SmackDown moment last night with Becky Lynch, fucking epic. A week from now, today, you're gonna forget about the Monday Night Raw segment with Steph and the Triple H segment because now we're just doing the redundant anti-authority figure. And while that always has its place, I expected a lot bigger and better for Becky Lynch. That's the best they had planned for Becky Lynch. It started at the Royal Rumble, that bullshit booking, and you tap out in 6 seconds to Asuka, which, by the way, somebody put her on the side of a milk carton because she's missing. Everybody said, Amplify, man, she had to lose in that way because Asuka needs to be built up. Bullshit, I said to everybody. And everybody was like, it's not bullshit, BC. Trust me, just watch what they do with Asuka. And I said, bullshit, but let's see what they do with Asuka, cause I'm right and you'll end up being wrong, bitch. And what happened? There's the amplified man over in the right column again, and there's everyone over in the wrong column again. Asuka hasn't been seen, you know why? They don't have shit. There ain't no nagging injuries. There's no Asuka needs to deal with some business in Japan. No, this is, they don't have anything. There's nothing. They said, hey, if we have her beat Becky like that, maybe we know we got nothing. We have to attempt to build up Becky. We'll just have everyone rest for the next several weeks through Elimination Chamber with the memory in their head that Asuka tapped out Becky Lynch in 6 seconds. Okay, like that's any better for anybody involved. If you have Becky Lynch pass out in that match at the Rumble, everybody wins. If you're just going to leave Asuka off TV till Elimination Chamber and beyond, you just have Becky pass out. She gains all the credibility in the world because she did not give up. And that's what Ronda has to look forward to. Somebody who is not going to give up from your fucking armbar. That's the story you tell. And Asuka made somebody pass out. No, we'll have her tap out in 6 seconds and then we'll put her on TV and force her down everybody's fucking how you doing TV sets. With the authority figure, anti-authority figure, character, the fucking limping, gimping, hobbit, hobbling, sympathy character. And Asuka will leave off TV. The fucking booking in that Royal Rumble match to this very day befuddles me, but it shouldn't. Because that's WWE creative for you. Or lack thereof. So Becky hobbles out, and that's That's the big Becky angle that we have for SmackDown last night. They're really pumping up anti-authority. They really want you to think Stone Cold, CM Punk, CM Punk. The difference is, this is falling flat on its ass. Anybody who thinks this is succeeding, listen to the You guys are saying, listen to the crowd. Listen to the Becky chants and the reaction. When she smacked Triple H, had the stare down, and walked away, the crowd didn't know what the fuck to think. They're like, that's it? That was... that. And then when she gets halfway up into the crowd, a few of them are like, Becky, right? Like, is that what we're supposed to do? Guys, I heard loud Becky chants for the whole week since the Royal Rumble. I think we're supposed to do that in this crowd. That's what we're sheep, right? Becky, oh no. Oh no, man. Not buying it. Not buying it. You want to have an anti-authority figure, you go balls to the wall and you do it the right fucking way. I'm going to need more than a fucking grazing slap to Triple H on one night. And another night, you're going to throw some weak-ass punches to Stephanie McMahon. I've seen all that. I've seen it with Ronda Rousey. So now who's the bootleg? Now Becky's bootlegging Ronda? Ronda was the anti-authority figure first for the ladies. That's what I mean. You stripped away Becky's character. You gave her to everyone else. Charlotte has a little bit of her character. Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, they're all new, ruthless. And then you gave Becky Ronda's character. Now she's anti-authority while gaining your sympathy. What more is the machine gonna do to make people yell, Becky, Becky? I already told you, at the Royal Rumble and Raw, they laid out Becky signs like they do for the Bayley section. So they wanted everyone to hold up Becky signs. I'm not a sheep. I'm not gonna do that. You want me to chant for Becky, I'm going to do it by the way she is organically and the way you're booking her in a badass way. If she's not going organically, if this is not who Becky Lynch really is, or should be being booked, and your booking is weak as fuck, I'm not going to get involved in this. Why the fuck would I give you my money, show up at a house show or a Raw or SmackDown, see this type of bullshit booking from an average character at this point, because that's what this character is, and I'm supposed to join in on the fun? Becky! Oh my god! It's Becky Lynch! Fuck cares if it's Becky Lynch? This is bullshit booking. Becky Lynch looks weak and meek. An abused victim of some sort. She's always afraid to talk. When somebody talks a bunch of shit to her face to face, she won't say anything. And then a day later on social media, she gets the balls from the man to say something. She gets a quick-witted response. Takes you a day and a half to respond? Come on, bro! Come on, man! That's how SmackDown opened up. BC, I really didn't think it was that bad of a segment. Well, that's good for you. I'm expecting more. This is supposed to be our WrestleMania main event. Ronda and Becky. And I'm seeing nothing that's screaming that right now. They're just trying to captivate any buzz that they had for Survivor Series, and they're hoping to at least even get that. And this is how they're going about it? Is she faking an injury? Is she really injured? Moving on, because SmackDown actually wasn't that bad last night, was it? It actually was fucking, dare I say, decent? First match of the night was Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev taking on The Club. Can we call them just The Club, Gallows and Anderson? I don't know, man. Some people still call them the Bullet Club. Some people don't know what to call them because they're never on TV, so they forget they're with the company, which is mind-boggling to me because they still get a decent reaction. People people still give a fuck about them, and they're actually a damn good tag team. When you give them a chance, when you give them the time of day. But you never know it, because they just, man, that is one of the, I know everybody is booked tragically in WWE. It ain't just Becky Lynch, it's everybody. It's just sad to see when you see somebody like Becky start to get something really cool, and then you see the machine just totally fuck it up. But everybody is just booked so oddly in WWE, and so bad. And when you see people like Gallows and Anderson, wow, man, they've been here a couple years now. They could have been something special. Instead, it was the opposite. Fucking tragic. Anyway, they lose to Shinsuke and Rusev, and now it looks like Rusev and Shinsuke are a team? Shinsuke Nakamura wins the Royal Rumble last year, and now they don't even know what to do with him, to the point where they're just throwing him with Rusev. Rusev is face one day, heel the next day. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with Rusev. Sometimes they throw United States Championships on them. Maybe now they're going to go for Tag Team Championship. Who the fuck knows? That was the opening match. Gallows and Anderson eat another L. At this point, you could throw them in the Kurt Hawkins bracket. The only difference, I think Gallows and Anderson have a couple of victories in 2 years. Then you went into Randy Orton, Mustafa Ali. This kid is still, you know, he's impressing me. You guys know I was really hard on Mustafa Ali at first. I'm still not going to give him too much credit. He still has a lot to show me on the main roster, all right? But what I am seeing from this kid is that he can hang. That's important to the Amplified Man. You just don't show up and I'm going to give you my respect. I'm going to give you credit. You got to earn that shit. Something as little as, can you hang? This guy can hang, man. I don't care how small he is. He can hang. And if he keeps this up, he's going to earn my complete respect. I'm telling you right now, this kid is still showing a lot, and it's going to be really special. I still stand by my earlier words. I don't think he has earned his way into an elimination chamber, but he's there. So what he does inside that chamber is going to mean everything in that review of the good, the bad, and the ugly the next morning that I'm going to do. I'm going to speak extensively on my final verdict on Mustafa Ali. You guys know, if you've been watching this channel religiously, I've been holding out my final verdict. I've been harsh on him. I've been really hard on Mustafa, but he's showing me a lot. And after Elimination Chamber, I'm going to have my final verdict. Am I down with this kid? Has he earned my respect? Or should he just not be on the main roster? You know, Elimination Chamber is going to be huge for Mustafa Ali. I think for all of us. I think for a lot of fans like me who want to get behind them, but we're holding out, you know, where we're like, no, we're not just going to anoint you this big-time superstar in 2 months. Not going to happen. So it's a big night for Mustafa Ali for sure. Anyway, on to the subject at hand. He had a match with Randy Orton last night. And at first glance, I'm like, who the fuck cares? This is going to be stupid as fuck. This is not going to gel. But it actually gelled more than I thought. I'm not saying this was an epic match, but it gelled more than I thought. Mustafa Ali was on all his points, and Randy Orton, when it comes to pure wrestling, is one of the best in the world. So, they pulled it off, but the end of this match was just a wow moment. Another RKO out of nowhere, and Randy Orton keeps on getting creative with his RKOs, and when you're in there with people like Mustafa, you can get really creative. Mustafa Ali is up on the ropes, up on the turnbuckle. He's got his face facing toward the crowd like he's going to do like maybe get into a moonsault or some shit. Or Randy Orton's about to do a suplex from the top rope, anything, right? He's up on the turnbuckle, up on the ropes, and Orton rips his foot, like pulling the rug out from underneath somebody. He pulls Mustafa Ali's left leg. Mustafa Ali flies to where his face, belly is now to the mat. He's flying in the air from the ropes, and Orton catches him in an RKO. Beautiful, out of nowhere, and flawless. They showed 3 replays. I wanted to see 116 more replays. That was cool shit. I love RKOs out of nowhere. I do, man. That's Randy Orton at his best. And again, it's Mustafa hitting all of his marks so far in his young WWE main roster career. I don't know, man. Hopefully it's only up from here for Mustafa. I think the best part, aside from that RKO in this match, was after the match, Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere. Cohita clutch on Randy Orton. That was awesome. Because you guys know I love the concept, the thought of Randy Orton and Samoa Joe in a feud together. If you get sadistic Randy Orton with Madman Samoa Joe, and just imagine like a couple month build to WrestleMania, that's fun, man. As a pro wrestling fan, as a WWE fan especially, that is something that you can get behind. You don't have a definitive face, but you know Samoa Joe will probably be that face, but you also know Orton does have a huge fan base. So it's fun in every aspect, but the writing you could do here, even for uncreative writers like WWE seems to have, and the stupidity in booking, this just falls in your lap. I don't see how you could fuck this up, but we've said that many times, and WWE finds a way to fuck it up, like Becky Lynch's whole run right now. But you could do so much cool shit with Samoa Joe and Orton. And I love how Samoa Joe slipped in, got Randy Orton in that clutch, and they continued this. Maybe I do get to see this at WrestleMania. Maybe we will get to see a 2-month feud between these two. We'll see. But that whole thing, man, the match, the ending, the RKO, out of nowhere, Samoa Joe coming in at the end, even getting some boots on Mustafa Ali. I liked it all, guys. Daniel Bryan came down the ringside, cut a promo about how he's the planet's champion, and the authority is against him still because they don't want him to be the planet's champion, and he's wrongfully in this Elimination Chamber match. He's a champion that the people need, the planet needs, and yet they're throwing him in there with all these individuals inside the chamber. It's almost like they want to take his planetarial championship away from him. So I like it, man. It's Daniel Bryan being Daniel Bryan, cutting a badass promo. I think we're lacking those type of characters in the business. Characters that are not afraid to step outside of their comfort zone, outside of the box. Go a little wacky, go a little zany, take some chances, take some risks. Take something like that ugly planet belt that there's a big chance this is going to fail, and Daniel Bryan did it anyway, and he's so good at what he's doing, he has so much confidence in what he's doing, that it actually got over. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if they start selling planet championships and little kids around the arena are actually wearing them. You got to take chances and risks. Be a character. Be outside of yourself. Turn that volume to 10. Everybody these days is so mundane. Everybody looks the same, acts the same, sounds the same. Oh, man, it's sad. Daniel Bryan is still is one of the last ones that we have that isn't afraid to be a character. What else, guys? We had Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville versus the Iconics versus Naomi and Carmella. I don't even know if I could do all the names. Obviously, the Iconics have their own name. They're an actual tag team. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, what are they? Fire and Desire? What the fuck is it? Fire and Desire? I don't even know what the fuck their name... To me, Fire and Ice, because I don't know what Sonya Deville's really bringing to the table, but alright, that's another story. And then Naomi and Carmella is the glowing... what is Carmella? The Fabulous Glow? Maybe? Or Glowing Fabulously? I don't know. Maybe it's Glowing... No, Fabulous Glow... What the fuck am I talking about? This is where we've come from now. This is where we've come to in WWE. Throwing people together, putting dumb names on them, and then in review shows I gotta spend 17 minutes trying to figure out what it is. Who wins? Who the fuck do we care? Who wins? Oh, Naomi at the end of this match. Couple of minutes, Naomi's kicking ass. This is why Naomi, I say, is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, and she is so underrated. Nobody gives her credit. Even when she had the strap. She owned that entire match the last several minutes. Bouncing around pillar to post, but doing it in a... Every movement was not wasted. I say that a lot about Sasha. But everything she was doing mechanically was with purpose. She took control of the match, man. And she does this time and time again. In the end, she just loses. Mandy Rose was able to just pin her out of nowhere, really. Not like an RKO, but just like, I don't even know what her move... Just put her... Jacked her up, face first into the mat. 1, 2, 3. At least Naomi looked strong, but what the fuck, man? And I'm not saying Mandy Rose needed to lose that. This continues Mandy Rose's character. They really want to see what Mandy Rose has. Kind of like I want to see what Mustafa has. The Machine is really trying to see what Mandy Rose has. So I understand you need her to win. At least they made Naomi look strong. And I think in the end, when this is all said and done, Naomi will have the last laugh. But I just want people's eyes to be open, man. Naomi is damn good. And don't you go to her promo. Yeah, she's good, but her promos ain't there, BC. 99% of the female roster. 99% of the entire roster, male and female. Their fucking promos suck. Can't feed me that bullshit, then. I'm going off the cusp as I always do, guys. There's no notes here, man. I'm trying to remember every little detail from last night. There was also Andrade gave a little backstage promo, or should I say Zelina, but that's what should be being done. Zelina is a perfect mouthpiece, and Andrade is the perfect person to back up every word that she's saying. I love that. Backstage promo with the Usos. Usos are, in my opinion, the best tag team in the world. Sorry, Young Bucks. Sorry, anybody over there in New Japan that people are probably going to start naming. The Usos, for how many years they've been doing this, the mileage that they've put on their bodies, and to still be performing at this level, and in my opinion, better than ever, and their promos are some of the best in the business. They're hitting on every cylinder. They're the best tag team in the world, man. They really are. No offense, Shane McMahon and Miz. I know that's your moniker. But I'm really okay with them winning the championships at Elimination Chamber, and you can set up something with Miz and Shane McMahon from there to WrestleMania. Maybe there's dissension between the two. I have no idea. But eventually I want to see the Usos win the straps, not play fucking hot potato with the New Day. I'm sick of seeing that. I want to see the Usos eventually win the straps and carry them for a while. Cement their legacy. Because again, I fear there are another two that are underrated. They're not giving a lot of credit in a world that they should be giving the world to. So a lot of backstage interview segments, even when two superstars were in the ring together, they would cut to like an earlier interview that they conducted with them. I love that. That shit they used to do in Superstars of Wrestling back in the late 80s, early 90s. And why that's important, guys, is because it builds whoever the character is trying to portray. It lets the viewing audience in to how this character is, who they really are, how they act, how they sound, where they're going with the character, what they're thinking, everything in these little 20-second interview segments. SmackDown does a lot of that. I'd rather get invested into who a character is and what they're seeking out than just having redundant, bullshit, nonsensical matches, one after the other. Let me get to know the characters. So when I see a match with these aforementioned characters, I'm going to give a shit. I'd rather give a shit than not give a shit. And if that takes taking time to build the superstar, to build the character, eventually that's going to lead into building the storyline, building the feud 10 times better. I hope that makes sense. So I loved all the backstage segments as well. Should we just go to the main event? I might be missing a few things here and there, guys, but the main event was Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy. Decent match for these two, obviously. I'm not sure if Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan together could put on a bad match. I'm not going to go as far as to say it was a great match, though, and I'd be hard-pressed to say it was good, but obviously damn well decent for the time that was given, with commercial breaks added in, of course. And when this was all said and done, it ended as it should have been. This was a disqualification win for Jeff Hardy, of course, with Eric Rowan, right? Or did somebody slip it? Well, it doesn't matter how. It was a disqualification win for Jeff Hardy, and then everybody started coming in. How did they do this, man? I wanna try to keep this in sequence. So after Daniel Bryan, it was Jeff Hardy. I think it was... No, AJ Styles was last. So was it Randy Orton or Samoa Joe? No, Samoa Joe! That's what it was. Samoa Joe came in, and he went to put the clutch on Daniel Bryan. In fact, I think he actually did. Maybe that was the disqualification. Maybe it wasn't Rowan. But either way, you have Samoa Joe in there with the clutch on Bryan, and here comes Randy Orton for revenge. So again, 2 times in one night, Randy Orton and Samoa Joe are getting their hands on each other. So I'm loving this, of course. Somehow you have maybe Mustafa Ali. I think he slips in there, try to get some shots in on Samoa, because again, Samoa got some boots in on Mustafa earlier in the night. But when it was all said and done, it was AJ Styles who came out last. To his theme music, a little bit of a pop from the crowd. He comes running down and he clears out the ring. And when it was all said and done, AJ Styles is standing tall. We cut to a backstage interview with Daniel Bryan. And again, Daniel Bryan is still killing it in these interviews. He's like, I just went through that out there, and you're the first person I see when I get to the back with a microphone in my face. So he was playing it off. He was pissed off because they got a microphone in his face, and he's screaming about how this is unfair. But this is not going to happen at Elimination Chamber. And I thought it was good, man. Then they cut back to the ring. AJ Styles is pandering to the crowd with the WrestleMania sign in the background, even though he's not a part of WrestleMania yet. But I guess they're trying to say, if I win the strap, I'll be in a big match at Mania. We fade to black. That was SmackDown. I know everything I went over, none of it was really epic or even really great, but it flowed together, oddly enough. So I actually did not mind this SmackDown. It was absolutely decent. And if somebody goes and says it was a good SmackDown, I'm not going to debate it. I'll let them feel that way because it was hindering that. Decent, almost at a good SmackDown. Almost. I'm not there myself, but almost. And again, your big main event for Mania, Becky Lynch, her character, man, what are we doing with it? They have to decide what they're doing. She's trying to do all of these things at once, and it's coming off bad. It is failing. She's limping to the ring and trying to beat up everybody in the Authority. It's not realistic, first of all, but even if it was, you gotta pick a story you're going with. Is she badass and ready to fuck up the Authority, or is she injured as fuck and gonna be a gimp for the next 2 months? And that's the Becky we all have to deal with. They have to make a decision, man. And if this is the story they're going with, anti-Authority, when we already know Ronda Rousey is also anti-Authority, then you better pick up your game, buddy. Next week, you better bring a lot more to the table than some weak-ass punches a step, and I need even weaker smack to Triple H. Bullshit. And for the love of anything holy, somebody get a hold of Becky Lynch and tell her to speak up when people are talking shit to you. You're great on social media. In the ring, you're like a lost, abused puppy. Stop that shit. We know you're better than that. Amplified, man. You know the deal, man. You know the rules. Drink your coffee and whoop that ass wherever you are in the world today. I'll do the same here in New York City. And for now, you gotta holla at your boy Peace, cause he's out. The Amplified, man. We'll check you guys Sunday for the Amplified Podcast, episode number 6. And we gonna bring the heat. Do we go 2 hours? 3 hours? All right, let's not push it, man. Somebody made a comment. BC, give us 4 hours now that you gave us 3. See what I mean? It's never good enough for peeps. Why don't I just give you 5 hours then, this Sunday? No. Playing BC, motherfucking amplified. Check you!